Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay, it's 10 to 11. It's not that early, but I'm going to do a market scan quickly, same as I did yesterday. There's oil news out today. That's pretty much the only high impact stuff I can see. And of course, Jackson Hole. So I was just going to comment on the markets being a bit funny at the moment. Starting off with Wall Street here, looking at the 4-hour, it's going sideways a bit. So I spoke yesterday about how we might end up with a 4-hour retracement, if that was the case. So I didn't actually take any trades, but also just noting here that I find quite interesting. This is the 1 hour for the S&P. There might be a potential breakout building up here. That could happen later in the day. Tech markets are looking okay. A little bit of a pullback to retest the local highs on the 30 minutes on NASDAQ might be good. So whereas if it just drops through that and drops through the lows here, then we're likely to have obviously a much bigger down day. Russell looking slightly more bearish, so I'm staying away from that. FTSE also sitting right at a level of daily support, so I'm going to stay away from that. EU stocks ping-ponging between these highs and lows, levels of support and resistance, staying away from that. Germany looks bullish. Looks like it wants to carry on, but it's not a great. They're just not fantastic charts. These as well just says stay away from me. Nothing happening here. It doesn't mean that it will be that way for the whole day. It might suddenly start moving 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock UK time. US comes online, maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, could just start picking up and could start climbing. That is a possibility. But for this morning and certainly until the US comes online, I don't see much happening there. Again, okay, so nothing there that I ultimately like. I am still keeping an eye on the ASICs here doing a potential daily breakout as well. So just noting that. Now looking at the dollar index. So here's my problem with the dollar basket is, I said it yesterday, but I'm going to say it again. It's drifting lower, but it's also diverging. So, and it's just not trending. So why, if it's bearish, why is it just not trending? What's holding it up? And because of that, I read it as volatile and unstable. So if the dollar is volatile and unstable because it doesn't really know where it wants to go, it's leaning like 60-40. It's leaning to the downside, but it's also overdue for a retracement. So it could find itself, instead of retracing and then just resuming the trend, it could just bob along range bound for the next few days. Problem with that is that it immediately infects euro dollar. It infects sterling, which is looking more bullish, Aussie dollar, which is looking more bullish, Kiwi dollar, which looks more bullish as well. So all of those are giving kind of mixed signals. Dollar Swissy looks like it wants to break lower, potentially off the low of here around that 0.9 level. Dollar CAD also probably wanting. So all of them are hinting at a weaker dollar. Yes, weaker dollar. Just checking my thinking on that. So they're all, no, let me actually be clear on that. Sorry, the Euro, GBP, Aussie, and Kiwi are hinting at a weaker dollar, and they're looking like they want to climb higher. And yet, dollar Swissy and dollar CAD are hinting actually at a weaker dollar. Yeah, a weaker dollar. They want to head lower. There we go. Cool. Sorry, I haven't had enough coffee this morning, obviously. Euro GBP pushing on the lows there, so that could find itself trending lower. So there could be some potential shorting opportunities from where it is now. Euro Aussie testing support. It's literally just hovering above support and might weaken. That could be interesting. So in other words, the euro dollar could be weakening in principle as well. My only issue with euro Kiwi is it could be coming back down to support. So they're looking slightly weak. Euro yen starting to bob a bit lower. So that's interesting to me because the euro pair is looking weaker than they should. But there's nothing outstanding in the markets today. Even here, we've got a daily with a little rejection candle against previous lows. Could be one to go short. So actually, in this case, euro CAD could potentially then be bearish. Excuse me, Pound Aussie, which I've been kind of wanting to trade to the upside, is just bobbing along, not committing to anything. Pound Kiwi, the same, not really committing to anything. So to me, so the reason is that none of these are really just following through, and that's why the alarm bells are going off in my head. It doesn't mean that they won't find their mojo later on today or tomorrow and then just go back to the trends, but the uncertainty during this time right now is a bit, for me, is warning bells. So I'm just running through the charts. Nothing is looking good. I mean, this is a 30-minute time frame, and there's the 1 hour. So that's basically is a great example of what to stay away from. Aussie yen doesn't look good. Aussie Swissy looks I still think some of the Swissy pairs might climb because I know they want that to be the case, but dollar Swissy not being the case. This just doesn't look good, man. There's just nothing great here so far. Because they're caught between potential daily downtrends and they've got shorter term uptrends. There's this conflict between the daily and the lower time frames. You get days like this. The trick is to be able to identify them. So for example, here, Swissy yen daily, right? It's found support. It's a swing trade that I'm in, and I'm looking at the lower time frames. So there could be a potential trade setup, right? So that's got an hour to go until it closes. So I'll wait till it closes. If it closes something similar to this, then there might be a long-term position because the daily is bullish. I'm principally long on the daily, but the whole thing is how many charts that I have to go through to kind of find that. That doesn't look good. Okay, so gold is just hovering around the support level. It's not bullish. It's not strong. Otherwise, it would be climbing. Silver's the same. So what could be happening here is that the markets could be waiting for some kind of clarity, which could be Jackson Hole, could be anything. And then they're going to actually start moving. Oil did manage to break high yesterday, which is great. So what could be a decent trade in my mind is a pullback and a retest to this level on the 4-hour. Could be really good. So I could actually potentially place a buy order there, stop loss down here, see if it taps in and goes. It's got a flat level. It's potentially wanting to break through there. So that would apply to all the oils. Same thing again. Pullback, which means that setup might only come later today. Lumber's setting up already on the daily as a swing, so that wants to carry on. Bitcoin, it's bearish. Well, actually, Bitcoin looks like it's setting up here as a potential bullish breakout. So there we go. That could be something as well. Let's just do this. That could possibly be a potential bullish breakout. Maybe to the upside. And that's it, folks. Nothing super wow in the markets today. So very cautious. Basically, I'll mark Bitcoin as possible buy. Swissy yen 4-hour. I'm going to take away. CAD yen could do the same thing as well. Euro yen is off for now. It's still within that swing trade, but it's not looking as bullish. So I'm just going to remove the highlight. And that's it, folks. So not saying much. And anyway, be safe out there, and possibly trends will pick up later in the day. I'm not seeing anything that I really love here. So